we shall see victory! A great new altered fights at our side!
They asked you to help them. Why didn't you?
My war is with the worst of our kind. They will destroy us all.
I've heard such terrible, terrible things about you. How many of my people did you kill just to reach us?
As I walk through the bones, there's a rattle of death. I only got myself to blame. I only got myself to blame.
Well, hello there people, my name is Lucy and welcome back to another Outriders broadcast. Today, I am very excited because we get to finally reveal to you Outriders Worldslayer. Now, we first teased the existence of Worldslayer back in November last year, where we also introduced the free New Horizon update, which saw us add a whole plethora of quality of life improvements and content to the game. And ever since then, we have been hard at work on Outriders Worldslayer. But what exactly is it? Let's get to it, people. Today, I present to you Outriders Worldslayer, the reveal trailer.
There's a reckoning coming. Two paths diverge before you, Outrider. One leads to a new beginning, and the other to pain.
If we don't find a way to stop what's coming, there will be nowhere for us to hide.
You've been fighting for so long that you've lost sight of what is true. There is no saving humanity. Humanity is already dead.
We just had a glimpse into the story of Outriders Worldslayer, introducing new threats like a Reshkagal, the dark altered overlord of the insurgents. You want to know more, don't you? Well, we won't leave you hanging there. In fact, I think I have just the right person for the job. Here is our resident expert on all things Worldslayer, Sven. Take it away.
So you want to know what awaits you in Outriders Worldslayer? Think you're ready? Well, let me tell you, you are not. Here we go! Okay, you've beaten Outriders, called down the drop pods, and crushed every expedition to become supercharged demigods, roaming the battlefields of Enoch. But that doesn't mean your Outriders can kick back and relax just yet.
No, I didn't believe it. But the anomaly, it's growing.
In Outriders Worldslayer, we see the anomaly has continued to evolve, rising to the challenge that you, the Outriders, have presented. Frost storms and blizzards now ravage the land at a speed that even Enoch's hyper-evolved monstrosities struggle to adapt to. And as if this wasn't bad enough, Reshkagal, the commander of the human insurgent faction, has her own designs in mind for the future of humanity on Enoch.
It gets better every day.
Against impossible odds, the Outrider will have to push themselves to their limits to help Enoch see another day. If you want humanity to survive this frozen onslaught, you will need to travel to some of the furthest reaches of Enoch. New lands, of course, also bring new horrors. And Outriders Worldslayer doesn't just introduce new enemy variants, it adds entirely new adversaries. These all formulate a pretty scary gang of beasts and bosses who are very eager to say hello. Unsure if your current gear will be good enough for these adventures? Yeah, well, it isn't, but not to worry. Outriders Worldslayer adds a bunch of new loot for you to hunt down, including badass weaponry as well as class-specific and universal legendary armor sets. More on that topic a bit later. For now, let's have a look at our biggest new features. The packs drew strength from the anomaly in their own way. By exploring their past, you too will be able to unlock a secondary skill tree, which adds 2 more subclass branches for each of the original classes. Points for these new pack/class trees unlock after completing significant events in Outriders Worldslayer. But even a new skill tree won't be enough to reach the highest echelons of difficulty. As an altered, you will still need to ascend. Ascension is the new long-term progression system introduced in Outriders Worldslayer. Step by step, it will allow you to improve your endurance, your brutality, your prowess, and even the anomaly power itself. With up to 200 ascension points to unlock, continued ascension progress will be a constant companion in Outriders Worldslayer, even over hundreds of hours of play. Sound good? Of course it does, but we're not done yet. Outriders Worldslayer introduces Apocalypse tiers, which will be replacing challenge tiers, even when playing expeditions. Apocalypse tiers will be active across all Worldslayer content, and will go up to level 40. That means a new higher level cap of level 75 gear too. Speaking of gear, Apocalypse tiers also introduce Apocalypse gear. A third mod slot will propel your gear to its most destructive form yet. And in combination with the many new and brutal mods coming with Worldslayer, well, let's just say you'll be able to bring some unseen crazy firepower to the table. Whew, that's already a lot to take in. Throughout the Outriders Worldslayer campaign, you'll already have your hands full of dealing with Ereshkigal and her minions. However, if you do manage to get past her, well, the true endgame still awaits. The Trial of Taria Kratar. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. That, my friends, is the tale for another spotlight.
Now, you've seen just some of what Worldslayer has in store for you, and we are really excited for you to finally experience the next step in the Outriders universe. It brings a brand new campaign where you go toe-to-toe with the powerful, altered Ereshkigal. We're extending the world tier system, and these are now called Apocalypse tiers and go all the way up to level 40. Here, you'll find new weapons and gear with a third mod slot, and we call this Apocalypse Gear. And there will be new mods for you to find and equip, such as Omen and Noxious Spawns. Happy hunting! You'll also be able to develop your power through the patch trees, which allow you to boost and further diversify all 4 of your classes. And if all that wasn't enough, the Trial of Taria Kratar, our new endgame, combined with the new Ascension system, will push even the most experienced Outriders to their limits and beyond. To close out today's show, we're going to bring on our community maestro, Robbie, to preemptively answer any of the burning questions we expect you to have about Worldslayer. Is he a cartoon or is he a real human? Who knows? But here he is.
Thanks, Lucy, and hello, everyone. In this community section, we're going to go over some of the final points in Worldslayer. So without further delay, let's just jump right in. We've built Worldslayer for both existing players and new players alike. The original game with all of our updates, improvements and new heroes and content is also included with Worldslayer. The new Worldslayer campaign picks up right after the end of the original, and if you want to, you'll be able to start Worldslayer with a completely fresh character that has been boosted to level 30, so you won't be lagging behind your friends if you are a newbie and they're hardened veterans. And don't fret about skipping ahead to Worldslayer, you'll be able to still progress through Worldslayer first and then jump back into the original game's content. So if you're a complete newbie and you pick up Worldslayer, you'll have everything included. But what about existing players? Well, if you're a returning Outriders player, then firstly, welcome back. Secondly, we've got you covered too, with the Worldslayer upgrade option. If you buy the upgrade option on the same platform you purchased Outriders on, all Worldslayer content will be seamlessly integrated into your base game. Your characters and all your progress, armor, weaponry will be waiting right there for you when you face the new trials ahead. Of course, there will always be questions about the length of content, and Worldslayer was developed with having a long-term progression system in mind. The main campaign in Worldslayer will get you back into the swing of things, but every true looter shooter fan knows it's the endgame and the loot hunt where you'll be investing the lion's share of your hours. Of course, throughout all of this, you'll be pushing your Apocalypse tiers as well as your Ascension tiers ever higher, keeping the game challenging whilst also min-maxing your characters to the nth degree. To that end, we expect the search for new legendary gear and sets, and especially the hunt for Apocalypse variants of said gear, to keep you very engaged for a very long time. Oh, and one last thing before you go. We know the wait for the game is never fun, so if you pre-order either Worldslayer or the Worldslayer upgrade digitally, you will get 48 hours early access to the new mysteries that await. We hope that answers a lot of your burning questions on Worldslayer that you may have. Be sure to send your follow-up questions to the official Outriders social channels and give us a follow for the latest news on Outriders. We are so excited for you to all jump into Worldslayer on June 30th. Back to you, Lucy.
Thank you, Robbie. Now, with the release of Outriders Worldslayer coming at the end of June, pre-orders are live now. And for you newcomers, if you pre-order Outriders Worldslayer digitally, you will of course get access to Outriders the base game straight away, so you can start now and get ready for Worldslayer. Don't worry, June will be here quicker than you think. Time is flying. And that about summarizes it for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. It has been a pleasure as always, and do join us for the next broadcast where we deep dive into the brand new Worldslayer endgame, the trial of Taya Gritta. Bye bye for now.